What's going on, y'all? Back with another video. So in this video, I want to talk about 4 reasons why narcissists are dismissive. Now, narcissists become dismissive because it makes them feel safe by avoiding you. It's not that you've done something wrong, and they don't care if you think that, as long as they buy them enough time to feel safe. And the best way to respond to a dismissive person, period, is just to, not respond in a way out of anger or frustration, or kind of push them to respond in the way you need them to. Because if you know you haven't done nothing wrong, even though some people probably say things, to make a person feel a way, but it's their own issue because they have a communication problem or they don't know how to express their feelings. So they kind of disappear. And that's why they become dismissive. But the reasons why narcissists do it is because they're up to no good. They're always up to no good. And another reason, number two, is escaping being called out. So that's why they disappear in the first place. One, they're up to no good, probably found new supply, and they disappear on you because now they have to maintain that safe space with them and make sure that the coast is clear everywhere else. So that's why they disappear and become dismissive. I mean, number three is because they have low self-esteem, and not low self-esteem. I meant to say low self-awareness. And in this instance, not to be confused with low self-esteem, but some people can have low self-esteem who are dismissive, but they may not be a narcissist. So you just can't, how you just have to be careful how you label people, because we all are capable of having narc traits. I believe we are. But if we, you know, show people how we feel, you're going to tell how a person feels through their intentions. Your intentions are going to show how you feel. When narcissists become dismissive, it's because they're up to no good. When other people become dismissive, like a DA, a dismissive avoidant, they do it because they have low self-esteem. Now, narcissists, they have low self-awareness, which means they don't understand how this is affecting their relationship and communication with you, if that makes sense. So that's why they become dismissive. They don't care. They're doing something they don't have no business doing, and they don't care how you feel about it, how they maneuver. They just don't care how they actions affect other people because they're selfish and they lack empathy. They do not know what it feels like to hurt for someone to be hurt by someone. Their definition of hurt is, you hurt me because you didn't give me what I wanted, or you hurt me because you didn't do as I asked you to. So that's the narcissist reasons for feeling hurt. They don't have a reason to feel hurt behind something like that because they're not entitled to people, you know. Everyone has free will and they have to learn to accept that. And they're not. They're not going to accept it. So you're better off not dealing with a narcissist at all. Once you figure out who you're dealing with and you see this pattern of narcissistic behavior and narcissistic abuse, get away from it as fast as you can. Or set them boundaries that you need to set, to let them know what it is and what it ain't. Um, and the fourth thing is they become dismissive as a power play. You know, now narcissists, when they dealing with somebody and they dismiss you, let me give an example of dismissing. Let me give y'all an example of dismissing you. Now, I have been dismissed by someone in a relationship because they have low self-esteem issues, because they lack communication skills. They have a hard time expressing their feelings. So the safest way for them to deal with rejection, which they see certain things as rejection, I'm gonna break that down to y'all in a minute, is I have a really busy week. So you haven't been giving them this reaction or the time and just spending the quality time with them like you was at one time, because your schedule has changed, which requires you to to put more attention towards your job, because it's your job and you need your job. That's your livelihood. That's your money. That's self-explanatory. Like, who's gonna put work aside just to be laying up under somebody all day? I mean, it's a lovely feeling to have that. It's a good thing to be in love and just have that special person and all that kind of good stuff. But the thing is, you got it, and when you got something solid, it's like it should be an understanding. Narcissists have a hard time understanding that it's a two-way street, and that I'm busy, so we're not gonna be able to do as I've been doing. So they'll pretend like they understand it. Meanwhile, they playing the field. They doing other things that they don't have no business doing. They stepping out on the relationship because they can't get bored. When you're not giving them all this time that they require from you, that they need so bad from you to fulfill their needs, they get bored and they find it elsewhere. That's what narcissists do. Now, when things are bad because you've called them out on something, narcissists become dismissive as a power play to punish you. They're punishing you because you called them out. And they thinking now that you're gonna run your mouth and vent to people, and now this is gonna expose them. And you need to just keep quiet about what they've been doing in a relationship or at work or whatever. All I know is they don't take it very well when you call them out. And this may be like, it could be your first time ever, you know, standing on how you truly feel and being bold enough to speak out and tell it to them and just tell it straight up like it is. It could be your first time doing this to them. They're going to use this as a power play to really hurt you in return as revenge, to punish you because you called them out. And it could be something that you are well within your right of. They did something that needs to be pointed out. You're pointing out to them. You're expecting them to answer to it like a mature adult. You're not going to get that from them. They're going to deny it. They're not going to take accountability. And then they're going to disappear, be dismissive as a way to punish you. Some examples of being dismissive is, again, you may have to take a lot of time to focus on work now. So that time that y'all spending together at one time, you can't do that this week. And they don't understand that we're not children. This is not playtime. We can't be up under each other all the time. So they get angry at that because now you just taken away something that they thought they was locked in on. Like, you're delusional if you think it's gonna be like this. This is not what it is. Like, you can't think like that. And they're selfish, so they expect for you to stop what you're doing. Again, I mentioned this a while back in another video. You could have a hard day's work, and they don't respect the fact that I'm gonna give you this space to relax, get you some rest, and we, like, come up with a schedule to see each other, maybe on the weekends or something like that. What works for you, especially if you're working around each other's schedule, you know, it's like an infinity. It's like you give and take. It's like compromise and understanding. But that's something that narcissists are not willing to do. Now, other people, they're willing to do it once they understand their way of thinking is wrong. And I'm talking about just people with low self esteem, people who lack good communication skills as adults. It's like once they realize that they can work on that, they'll see how much better the relationship is. Now, unless they're just a selfish person, then it's just not going to work out. It's not. But narcissists, they're going to use it either as a punishment or as a way to go out and do their thing, which they're going to do anyway. So that's the only reason why they'll be willing to accept your absence because now they can go out and play and cheat on you and mess around, all that kind of stuff. And every time they meet somebody, doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna sleep with them because it depends on the person. I mean, and this narcissist is violating somebody, but um, that's still their way of finding new supply because they get bored with the fact that you're not there as often as you were. That's how narcs think. Now, any other person who may have a hard time accepting your absence during the course of the relationship, they have to do some self evaluation, you know. And so maybe it's fixable with that type of person, maybe not. But with a narcissist, it'll never, there's no chance of it ever being better than what it is with them. But anyway, that's why narcissists become dismissive. It's because they need to use that as a way to take control, of the situation and say, well, I don't owe you anything. They fail to realize where you coming from or what's going on in your life because they don't care. They don't have empathy. They don't have compassion and understanding. They don't care about your feelings, straight up, just like that, you know. And any other person who really loved and cared about you, they're just in love and just expect to see you all the time. They have to realize that it can't be like that. I mean, we're adults. You can't think like that. We got responsibilities outside of the relationship, you know. Sometimes it's fixable with them and sometimes it's not. But anyway, that ends this video. I thought I had another topic and it probably slipped my mind because it was something else I want to talk about, but it'll come to me. I'll upload it as soon as it come back to me. That's why I'm starting to get into the habit of writing down what I need to talk about, because if I don't, like, stuff just go through my mind all day at work, and I get up in the morning, I'm thinking about things. It all depends. But I mean, yeah, that's how it just be sometimes. But I'm gonna start writing it down so I could keep track of what it is I want to talk about. So that ends this video. Thank y'all for watching. Talk to you soon.